Well, we've got a couple minutes, so I think we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We might have a couple people coming. Did anybody do the Broad Street? Okay. I thought there might be some specific requests if somebody did the Broad Street yesterday. Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, does anybody have any specific requests for today? No? Okay.
Like upper back into neck.
Okay. Upper back into neck. Yeah, we can do that. Well, happy Cinco de Mayo. It is Cinco de Mayo today. I don't know if anybody knows, but it's one of those holidays. It's a bigger deal here than it is in the country of origin. It's like St. Patrick's Day is not that big of a deal in Ireland, but it's a huge deal here. Same thing with Cinco de Mayo. And people tend to think it's Mexican Independence Day, and it's not. So anyway, little lesson. I used to live in Texas, so yeah, kind of know about this stuff. Okay, so Anisha is not here, obviously. I don't know exactly what she's doing, but make sure that let me double check that this is working. Oh, hips, please. Okay, Sabrina, you can hear me, obviously, then. Okay, we'll get to the hips, absolutely. I don't know what she's doing, but I hope she's doing something terribly fun. She's in Hawaii? Oh, yeah. Do you know what island?
She's at a wedding.
Oh, then that is fun. Then that's awesome. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something to Hawaiian theme. I can't think of anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So take a comfortable seat if you haven't already. If you're sitting cross-legged and your knees are way up above your hips, consider maybe sitting up on a block or your blanket. If you are sitting on something, try to sit towards the front of it so your pelvis tilts a little bit and you get this nice well in your back here. And close your eyes or simply soften them. Whatever feels appropriate to you. And we turn inward. We turn to our breath. The breath that's always with us, but we rarely pay attention to it in our conscious life. So bring attention to your inhale through your nose and your exhale through your nose. And I know it's Monday morning, well, it's Monday noon now, but try and let go of any to-do list that you have for the week. Just be here together, our yoga family, our Kula, for the next hour or so. And as you inhale, drink the breath all the way in, back, and down to the bottom of your belly. And as you inhale, feel your belly expand. Then as you exhale, feel your belly button retreat towards your spine. And use your breath to create a lot of space. So as you inhale the breath all the way down to the bottom of your belly, also feel yourself fill up front to back, side to side, creating all of that space. And then as you exhale, try and retain the space and just soften around it. So you're sitting up tall. We were just talking about the humidity, so we do have some humidity today. So if you want to move to Ujjayi breath, feel free. Sometimes we don't do that as much during the winter when the air is very dry. It's where you let the air rebound off the back of your throat. Kind of sounds like a Darth Vader breath, which is appropriate because yesterday was the fourth be with you. And on the next inhale, feel your arms lift, hands come to prayer in front of your heart. Anjali Mudra, the symbol of the lotus, the symbol of the open heart and mind. So we're placing our heart in front of our physical heart. We'll begin practice with the sound of one Om. Feel free to participate or just to receive. Deep breath in. Om. Softly bow your head to your heart, your head to each other's hearts. Release the hands, blink open the eyes. Let's go ahead and get started in child's pose today. Get into the lower back, a little bit behind the hip early on. So take your knees wide as the mat, toes touch in the middle, hands out in front of you, index fingers point straight ahead. And as you exhale, slowly take your sit bones back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Now press your hands down and feel your upper arms lift up. Feel your forearms lift up. And then as you inhale, get really long from hips to armpits, and exhale, maybe your chest descends a little closer to the mat. If you want to work that upper back a little bit more, take your forehead off of the mat. And you feel a little bit more work in the neck and the upper back. Another deep breath in, and then on an inhale, look forward, walk your hands to the right, and really bring attention to pressing down, really pressing down through the left hand to feel your left sit bone come back towards your left heel a little bit more. And on every inhale, you can create a little bit more space. Exhale. You can maybe walk your hands to the right a little bit more. Take another deep breath in. And when you're ready, walk your hands back through the center. Pause for a breath. And then when you're ready, walk your hands to the left. Oh, yeah, we went to the right first, right? Okay, I'm like all of a sudden walking and doing the music, I get confused. Really bring attention to pressing down and forward through your right hand, feeling that right sit bone come back towards your hip. And as you inhale, really feel the right side of your body expand, getting a nice stretch through the right side body. And notice as your left shoulder dipping down. If it is, press down through your left hand to raise the left shoulder up to be in line with the right. Maybe take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, walk your hands a little bit farther to the left. And then inhale, come back through center. Pull yourself up to tabletop, all fours. Notice if your hands spun out, index fingers still point straight ahead, and you should have your fingers spread so you see a little bit of the mat between each finger. And tuck your toes under so your heels point straight up. And notice as your belly button falling down, if you have this big arch in your back, bring your belly button to your spine and the sacrum, that flat bone at the base of your spine, up a little bit. So it's really like a table. And then on an inhale, look up, arch your back, sit bones to the sky, and exhale to round. Look to your belly, sit bones towards your heels. And just undulate back and forth through cat and cow on your breath. Use your whole breath to move into cow and your whole breath to move into cat. If you want to get a little bit more into the upper back, look deeply to your belly and you'll feel more of the stretch in the upper back. And maybe you want to get into the side bodies again. You can take your right shoulder back towards your right hip, making a C in the right side body, feeling that stretch in the left side. And then you can switch sides or just move in any way that feels good to you. One more round, and then come back to that flat back. Take your knees back a few inches. So we're coming to puppy pose. Some people call it three-quarter dog. So your hips are above your knees and your forehead is off of the floor this time. But just like we were doing in child's pose, press down through your hands to feel your forearms lift, your biceps lift, your armpits lift. And then inhale to create the space. Exhale, maybe the chest descends a touch more towards the mat. And then TP the fingers on the right hand, thread your left hand under your body to the right, palm up.
coming into the twist. And you can even bend your right elbow a little bit so it goes to the sky, creating a little bit more space for you to open up a little bit more towards the brick wall. And maybe your left hip is dipping down. If it is, press down through your left knee to level the hips. One more breath. And then inhale to come back through center. When you're ready, TP the hands on the fingers on the left hand, thread the right arm under, palm up, getting the twist on the second side. And we want to keep the hips level so the twist is happening in the upper back. You don't want your hips to come with you. Maybe the left elbow is pointing towards the sky. Taking a deep breath in, exhale, maybe twist open a little bit more towards the Monroe Street side. And then inhale, come back through center. Pull yourself up to tabletop, walking your knees in. And then when you're ready, take the right foot back and back if you follow the foot on the floor, getting a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. Keeping a small micro bend, so you want to keep a little bend in the knee so it doesn't lock out. And maybe you feel a big stretch through the calf as you reach the heel back, belly button in, chin back just a little bit towards your chest, and reach out the crown of the head. And then lower the right knee down, take the left leg back, follow the foot on the floor, second side. And really keep the left heel pointing to the sky so it doesn't fall in. If it falls in towards the midline, you're lifting your left hip out to the side. We want to keep our hips level. And keeping a small micro bend in the knee, belly button in, ribs in. And exhale the left knee down. This time we'll inhale the right arm out in front of us, left leg back again, ball of the foot off of the floor this time. And really spread your fingers, spread your toes, thumb points straight up. And then exhale, lower it down, switch sides. Now I don't want to have my right leg way off of the ground. That forces me into a back bend like this. So bring your toes down 4-6 inches or so off of the mat. So I'm keeping that flat back, that belly button to the spine. Lower down. Now just go back and forth through each side on your breath. So inhale the arm and leg up, exhale it down, switching sides. We'll do one more on each side. And after you've evened up your sides, we'll meet back in all fours. Now find your stability. Notice if your chin is falling down, take your chin back, take your right hand to the head, and just gently press your head back into your hand. And on an inhale, take the elbow up to the sky. Exhale, right elbow to left inner elbow. And we'll do that like 5 times. So it's the eye of the left elbow. And after your 5, come back to tabletop, pause for a breath, and then left side. Left hand comes behind the left head. Inhale, the elbow up, exhale, cross the body. 5 on this side. And after your 5, we'll meet in tabletop. And then step back to plank. Notice shoulders should be over wrists. If they're way in front of or in back of your wrists, scoot your feet to adjust. Now keep your hands and your feet just where they are and lift the hips, press back to downward dog. And you can keep the knees bent here. First downward dog. You can pedal, so bend the right knee, reach back down through the left heel, bend the left knee, reach down through the right heel. You can wag your bum from side to side. And then come to a neutral position. Without moving them, press your hands down and forward. Feel your bum lift up towards the sky. And inhale, take a big breath in. Get long from hips to armpits. Exhale, soften the chest towards your toes just a little bit more. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, press back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, press back to downward dog. We'll do that 3 more times. So we're starting to warm up the shoulders, starting to warm up the hip flexors as we go into extension and back to flexion. And I don't know, I think this might be my 5th one. It's hard for me to talk and count at the same time. We'll meet back in downward dog. Keeping your hands on the ground, let your heels fall to the right. Blade edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left foot, but keep pressing back to downward dog so it's like you're getting a big stretch in the left side body, all the way from the shoulder down to the hip. Kind of feel that QL muscle in the lower back of the hip. Inhale, come back through center, and when you're ready, let your heels fall to the left. But the key is really pressing your hands down and forward to take your hips up and back. And then inhale, come back through center. Pause for a breath. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga, half push-up. Inhale, come forward to cobra, staying as low or coming up as high as you want. But take your shoulders up, back, and down, and isometrically draw your hands towards the midline and back to feel the opening in your chest and your belly. And then when you're ready, lower your chest and make your way back to downward dog. You can roll over your knees. You can press up to half push-up and back into plank and back to downward dog, whatever is appropriate for you. Inhale the right leg straight up and back. Look forward and come forward to lunge. Really bring the knee to the chest to step through softly. Notice that the right knee is directly over right ankle and slowly lower the back knee to the ground. You can pad with your blanket. You can also roll the mat up if you don't have a blanket, to pad the knee, and then inhale to come up. So notice that your right hip wants to hike up, so keep the right hip hiking down. Try and lift the left hip up a little bit, and then with your right hand, reach for your left wrist. Inhale to create that space, and exhale, curl to the right, just a little bit towards the brick wall. And you can, on every inhale, create more space, and exhale, move into that space. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale the hands down. Make your way back to downward dog. Inhale the left leg straight up, back, step it through to lunge. Second side. Slowly lower the right knee down this time as you inhale the arms up in front of you. This time this hip wants to hike up, so bring attention to hiking it down, belly button in, ribs in, chin back. Spread the fingers, and then with your left hand, reach for your right wrist. Inhale to get tall, exhale to side bend to the left. And really bring the ribs back and the belly button back. This will really help that stretch. And keep a small crease in the right hip, so you're not overly dumping down. Keep the right sit bone
moving back just that little bit. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, the hands down. Lift the back knee. Step back to downward dog. Work through your vinyasa 3 times on your breath. So inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knees count. Beautiful. Keep the elbows pointing up straight to the sky in your chaturanga. If your elbows fall back, it really puts a lot of stress on your rotator cuff. And right now I have 2, excuse me, I cough. I have 2 of my 4 rotator cuffs are completely torn. I know. I already went to PT this morning. Okay, meeting back in downward dog. Sorry about, I'm trying to drink this water. There, I think I got it. Meeting back in downward dog. Raise the right leg straight up and back, step it through to lunge. Hands come to the blocks or to the floor, whatever height you need to keep from over rounding your back. If you need to round your back to get down to the floor, just use your blocks. So right knee directly over right ankle, tack the left hip forward, belly button in, ribs in, and when you're ready, inhale the arms up, come up into high lunge. So pull the pelvis up, belly button in, ribs in, chin back, arms back, lots of stuff. And then maybe descend another ½ inch into the right knee. And then take your left hand and cross your body and hook your elbow outside of your right thigh, just above the knee. Hands come to prayer for a twist to the right. Keeping your left inner upper thigh lifting up, inhaling to create the space. Exhale, press your hands together, open up a little bit more to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, the hands down. Step back to downward dog. And just notice the practice. Scan your body for a moment. Notice how one side might feel a little off. So we'll balance it out. Inhale the left leg up, step it through to lunge. Setting up your lunge. You want the left thigh to be as parallel to the ground as possible. It's really hard, I know. It's really, really hard. But get your foundation set, and when you feel strong and stable, inhale the arms up. Coming up slowly. Tack the right hip forward this time. Belly button in, ribs in, chin back. Just send another ½ inch, keeping the inner upper right thigh lifting up. And then take the right arm across the body, hook your elbow outside the left thigh, just behind the knee, coming into the twist. And that right thigh really wants to fall down. It wants to turn, but keep kind of counter twisting your hips back to the right and twisting to the left in the upper body. Inhale, come back up through center, and then exhale the hands down. Step back to downward dog. Move through one vinyasa on your breath. We'll meet back in downward dog. And then bend your knees, look forward, jump or step to the front of your mat, press down to rise up, reach up, arms high to the sky, tall mountain. So peek at your feet. They should be parallel and hips width apart. They may want to turn out like this, that's common, but bring them back like railroad tracks. Belly button in, ribs in, chin back, reach out the crown of the head. And then exhale the hands down. Inhale them back up. We'll do that 2 more times. And the next time they come up, we're gonna bend our right elbow, and with our left hand, reach up and over for the elbow and persuade it up to the sky, getting a big stretch here, opening all of this up. And notice the first thing that happens to me is my chin wants to jut forward. So press your head back into your wrist or your forearm. And as you gently persuade it up, you can even press your elbow back into your hand just that little bit. Maybe feel those muscles, those lats, all of that stuff in there turn on a little bit more. And then inhale, switch sides. And maybe your hips want to come forward, so take the inner upper thighs back, then correct belly button back, head back, persuading the elbow up. And then inhale the arms up, exhale them behind your back. Interlace your hands, or you can grab a strap. If you grab a strap, take it about sit bones width apart, or interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, get really broad in the chest, and keeping all of that breath, exhale, start to rip your hands apart. So I don't want to overly collapse like that. Keep the back and the front broad as you rip the hands apart, and then maybe start to take the hands away from the bum a little bit more. Should feel this in the shoulders, in the pecs, in the biceps. And then exhale to release, press down to rise up, and exhale to fold. Now, once again, we want to keep that flat back, avoiding that rounding in the upper back that we do all day at our computers and our phones. So use your block. If you're rounding your back to get to the floor, take your block to whatever height is appropriate for you. And then inhale to look forward. You can even draw your fingers back towards your toes on your block or the floor. It really helps to feel that length in the spine. Now, keeping all that length, exhale to fold. And you can stay in the fold, or you can use your breath on every inhale to look forward, and exhale to fold a little deeper. But notice that your knees are straightish but not locked out. Notice if your arches, if you're falling inwards towards your arches, bring more attention to the blade edge of your foot. And then take the right hand outside of the left ankle or the shin. Left hand can come to the hip. It can come to the sacrum, that flat bone at the base of your spine, or it can come up to the sky. If you're taking it up to the sky, turn the back of your hand towards your ankle. You'll get that, your shoulder into external rotation. It's better for your shoulder. And then exhale, maybe lean back on that left shoulder a little bit more. Inhale, come back through center. Pause down the middle and switch sides. And notice, is your left knee popping out in front of your right knee? If it is, bring it back in line. Inhale to create the space. Exhale, twist open a little bit more. And then inhale to unwind. Inhale to look forward. And exhale to fold. Press down to rise up, reach up, arms high to the sky. Exhale to fold, step back to downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, step it through to lunge. Spin the back heel down, cartwheel the arms up into warrior two. So once again, you want the front thigh to be as parallel to the ground as possible. It's hard, but more like a bench and less like a slide. And then take the left thigh back. You can even take your hand and help persuade it back. You might lean over a little bit, that's okay. Then keeping the thigh back, come a little more upright. And then notice, did your right knee fall in? If it did, press your right heel down into the left. You'll feel the right knee open up a little bit more. And then turn the right palm up. Exhale slowly, using the whole breath to reverse your warrior. Maybe you came up out of the knee. So descend another inch or two back. Breathing into that right side body. And then inhale, come forward, up through center, can't talk. Exhale the elbow to the knee and sweep the left arm overhead, bicep by the ear. Parsvakonasana. So you want a strong line from straight from the ankle up through the hip, up through the fingertips. Maybe the hand comes down to the block or to the floor. If it does, try not to bend in the right side body. Try and keep your right and left torso equidistant, like you're in mountain pose. Then inhale, come back through center. Cartwheel the hands down. Step back to downward dog. Lower the knees for a second. Does that make sense? Lower your knees for a second. What I was saying, when we're in Parsva, we're here, and when we reach for the ground or the block, the tendency is people want to bend. See how I've got a bend in my left side body? That's not the pose. You want to achieve that by flexing in the hip. So I go like this. So notice the right and left side body stay equidistant. Want to give that a try? Second side? It's really hard. It's really hard. Okay, let's meet back in downward dog. If you don't do that, totally cool. As Larry would say, same awesome. Okay, take the left leg straight up and back, step it through to lunge, turn the back heel down, cartwheel your hands up to warrior two, keeping that back thigh back. So see, when my back thigh comes forward, where are my hips pointing? They're pointing out to the side. When I take my back thigh back, my hips are pointing straight ahead of me. And then take the back hand back a little bit, center the torso more over your hips, and isometrically draw the feet towards the midline. Feel all that power in your legs. And then just gaze out over the middle finger. Turn the left palm up. Slowly reverse your warrior. Keeping the right shoulder back. It wants to fall forward, so keep it back. Another breath here. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, the hand to the knee. Right bicep right by the ear. Really spread your fingers. You can even feel the muscles in your forearms turn on. Take the ribs back, the upper right ribs back, the left bottom ribs forward as you twist open and maybe look up. Maybe try taking that left hand down to the floor or the block. Yes, beautiful. And then inhale, come back up through center and make your way back to downward dog, and then lower your knees. That is a well-deserved rest. Woo! I'm hot. Is the temperature okay? We need more air? We're okay? Okay. So you can just rest here. You can bring your thumb and forefinger together, place it right here in your hip. That's called Yana Mudra. You can sit back on your heels. You can turn your toes under, sit back. This is a nice stretch for your feet. But if you do that, really bring belly button in, getting light, getting tall. Whatever feels good. Maybe close your eyes. Notice your heartbeat. Notice your breath. And then open your eyes, and we will come back to a tabletop and press back to downward dog.
Keeping your hands keeping your right hand just where it is. Let your heels fall to the right. Left hand comes up to the sky for Vashisthasana. You can bend the right knee and bring it down to the floor for more support. You can bend the left knee, bring it in front of you for more support. You can leave one foot in front of the other or stack the left foot over the right, but turn the right bicep forward. Important for those rotator cuffs, the shoulders. Inhale, come back to plank. Press back to downward dog. So there's a lot of different options, a lot of different bus stops on that pose. So take it where it feels more comfortable for you or it's more stable for you. And then heels go to the left, we'll go to the second side. You can stack the hands up, the feet up, or you can choose a modification that has more stability for you. Keep the hips lifting up, so press down through the hand, down through the feet to keep the hips lifting up, and then come back through plank, press back to downward dog. Inhale the right leg, step it through to lunge, let your hands walk to the left, coming into wide-legged forward fold. So feet are parallel with the short ends of your mat or turned in slightly. Inhale to look forward, find that flat back again, and exhale to fold. Notice if the knees are locking out. We want to keep a small micro bend in both of the knees, and don't let your arches fall in. Keep weight on that blade edge of your foot. Inhale to look forward, find the length, find the space, and then exhale, move into the space as you come into the fold. If you want to get into the shoulders a little bit more, you can take your hands and reverse them so the fingers are pointing away from you. Take the heel of the hand back around the heel of your foot, and then pull your hands towards you. It'll bring you deeper into the pose, but keeping a small micro bend in both of the knees. And then inhale to look forward, walk the hands to the right, turn the right toes forward, turn the back heel up, step back to downward dog, and pause. Another tip for the shoulder, we're in down dog a lot. We're putting a lot of weight into our wrists and our shoulders. So if you imagine that you're twisting jars open, so you're spinning the thumbs towards each other, you can feel that adjustment in your shoulders. You can feel the arm bones root into the shoulders a little bit more. Inhale the left leg straight up and back, step it through to lunge. Walk your hands to, the right, and then coming into wide-legged fold, second side. You can bend your knees quite a bit, and then as you exhale, press the inner upper thighs back, and that might take you even deeper into the pose. And if you want to get to the shoulders, that upper back again, Marissa, you can interlace your hands behind your back and take your hands higher overhead. Maybe they come even past overhead. Take another deep breath. And then inhale to release the hands. Walk your hands to the left, turn the left toes to point forward, turn the back heel up, step back to downward dog. Take the right leg straight up and back, step it through, pigeon prep. We'll get into that hip a little bit deeper here. So take your right knee all the way to the edge of your mat and peek behind you. You want your left leg is going to want to splay out, so take it more to the midline, even so it might even feel like you're a little bit more on the outside of your kneecap. And then draw the front knee back, the back knee forward. Feel the lift. I want to have so much power in my legs, I don't even need my hands. Inhale to get tall, and exhale
take the fold if you like, or stay up in the prep if you want, whatever is good for you. Or if you have any knee or hip problems, you can go onto your back for supine pigeon. You can see that happening in the front and the back of the room. But don't look at your belly. Keep the neck long. So we want to avoid that rounding in the back. So you're looking out more where your fingertips are and taking your chin back. And just feel that big peel on the right back of the right hip. Do you guys like this pose? Yes. I know. It's like a lot of people say, 3 queens, they love their pigeons. And then I'm always like, this is in COVID, this is where I always went to my phone. It's like, okay, phone time. Take another deep breath in. And when you're ready, come up, bend your left leg, reach back for the foot or the ankle or your strap. But try and square your shoulders towards the front. Hand can be to the thigh, it can be to a block. Whatever you need for your stability. And then you can slowly start to draw the heel more towards the hip. If you want to take flight, you can take flight. And then watch the boing as you release everything. Plant the hands, lift the hips, step back to downward dog. You can open up the hip if you want, make little circles. If that feels good, one way and then the other way. And then we'll bring our right leg to meet our left. And then we'll switch sides. So bring the right leg up and through to pigeon prep, second side. Oh, left, sorry. It's like okay, this is just geeking out on yoga teacher stuff, but when I was teaching this way on the mat with you, I'm doing it with you, and when I go in front of you, I have to switch my brain to mirror you. So, yeah. So, feel the left knee drawing back, the left knee drawing forward, feeling that lift. We want that lift here. We do not want to be sitting on our left thigh. We want that space, that power. And then you can take the fold if you like. Just feeling that nice peel in the left back of the hip. Trying not to round your back, not to look to your belly, but to look out where your fingertips are. Take another breath here. And then slowly come up, bend the right leg, reach back for the heel or the foot. Getting that nice thigh stretch. Taking another couple breaths. Yeah, you can take flight if you want. And then lower down. Watch the boing as you release. Plant the hands. Step back to downward dog. And then lower your knees and come to a seated position. So take your right hand out to the side, spread your fingers, thumb points straight up, getting into the neck and the upper shoulders again. Take the left hand overhead like you're palming a basketball. You're not yanking on your head, just persuade it as it slowly goes towards the Monroe Street side. Feeling a nice stretch in the neck. And then if you want to get more into the back of the neck, you can look down. If you want to get more into the front of the neck, you can look up. Maybe try both, see what feels better for you. And then release the legs. Take the left arm out to the sky. And you can even like press your fingers away from you and it'll help you sit up even taller. And then the right hand comes over, persuading the head to the side towards the brick wall. And then maybe you look down, maybe you look up, whatever feels good. Has anybody ever seen the video that goes with this song? It's amazing. This guy, this male ballet dancer, does this like most incredible dance. Google it, YouTube. And then to release, and we'll get into the hips one more time. So there was a request for hips. So keep the right leg in, lift the left leg up. So you can put it in the crease of your arm like this, in the crook of your elbow, or if that's like, not happening, take your hands underneath, yes, and hold like this. So we're getting a big stretch in the left hip again. And notice that your foot wants to sickle, so press through the big toe ball mound. Larry says like you're pressing a gas pedal. I tend to think more Barbie foot, you know, but that's me. You know how Barbie, you take her shoes off and her feet are still like that, yeah? And then you can go side to side if you like. Then if you feel like, ooh, I want to do an arm balance today, stay right here and just work the hip. This is really, feels really good. If you feel like you want to do the arm balance, you can take the leg up. It has to be up as high as you can towards the shoulder, definitely above the elbow. Bring the hands to chaturanga. Right ankle goes overhead, over the other ankle, and then you lean forward, straighten the legs. Yeah, straighten your legs more. Yay, there you go, that's beautiful. and breathe, your face is all red. Remember to breathe. Okay, let's switch the sides. I hold my breath a lot too. Whenever I try and, whenever I tend to try and do something difficult, I tend to hold my breath, and that's the exact opposite thing you should do. You need the breath. So you can rock side to side if that feels good. If you want to hit the arm balance a second side, leg comes up and over, clamp it down so it doesn't slide off, plant the hands. This is my hard shoulder. We'll see how this works. I just have to remember to keep it back. When it comes forward, that's when it really stresses. So always shoulder back, shoulder back. And then we'll release and come onto your backs. We'll get a couple back bends in. So bend your knees, feet on the floor. You can reach with your fingertips to try and touch your heels. Everybody's arms are a little bit different length, but if you can just about touch your heels, you know that your knees are pretty much over your ankles. That's what you want. Have your feet parallel and hips width apart, or maybe a little wider, just not narrower. You can bend your elbows, palms face towards one another. Fingertips point to the sky. And as you press down through your feet and down through your upper arms, slowly lift your hips up, coming into bridge pose. Now don't overly jut your hips to your pelvis to the ceiling. You want to keep a small crease in your hip bones. So keep your inner upper thighs wrapping in and back. Like if you had a block between your thighs, you'd be trying to spit it out the back. And then without moving them, press your feet down and forward. Feel a little bit more of a back bend. And then maybe you can interlace your hands behind your back if you want more shoulder again. Trying to keep the wrist bones on the floor. And then press your head back into the floor and you feel the muscles in your neck release. And then if you have your hands interlaced, release them. Slowly lower your bum to the floor. Take the feet wide, let the knees knock in the middle. One hand on the head, heart, one hand on the belly, or if you want shoulders, open your hands up to cactus or field goal. And just pause here. Come back to the breath. You can always go to supported bridge as well. That's taking the block under the sacrum, that flat bone we've talked about a couple of times. So we'll do one more. Either come to supported if you want, come to bridge if you want. I'll talk you through wheel. I'm not going to do wheel because that's really, really problematic for my shoulder today, and I've already done physical therapy. So reset your feet. And if you're going into bridge, press down through the feet and the upper arms, lift your hips. If you're coming into wheel, turn your fingers to point towards the end of your mat, keeping your hands wide as the mat if possible, and pressing down to rise up. Try to straighten your arms if you're in wheel. And to create more space, you can come up onto your tippy toes. That'll create more space in your wheel. Yeah, beautiful. And then when you're ready, everybody release themselves down. Take your feet wide and let your knees fall to the right. And then inhale to come back up through center. Exhale, let them fall to the left. And use your whole breath to come up through center. Your whole exhale to fall to the side. And next time they fall to the right, let them stay there. If you want a little bit more of a calf stretch on the left, take your left heel back towards your left bum, side of your bum a little bit. And then you can take your right ankle over your right thigh just above your knee if you want a little bit more. But if your ankle is over your knee, don't just press down to the floor. Try and persuade the quad flesh, that flesh in the front of your thighs, down towards the end of your mat, like you're trying to stretch that quad flesh. And then really keep the left shoulder rooted. If it feels like it's popping up, you can press your right elbow into the ground, and it'll help it feel the left shoulder root a little bit deeper. And then inhale. If your foot is on, take it off of your knee or your thigh, and then come up, back up through center. Let your knees fall to the left. You can take the right heel back if you want more of a quad stretch. You can take the left ankle over the thigh if you want. Keeping the right shoulder rooted. Persuading the right quad flesh down towards the end of your mat, the short end of your mat. And then if your ankle is over the thigh, release it. Bring the knees back through center. Hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. You can make small circles one way, small circles the other way. And then stretch your legs out long. Take your arms overhead for a nice big stretch. Taking a deep breath in, feeling all of that space. And then draw your right knee in towards your chest. Flex your left foot. Toes point towards the sky. Try to keep your left thigh on the mat. So you might have to tilt your pelvis forward a little bit. And then straighten the right leg, heel towards the sky. Both feet are flexed. And you even want to, you can take a thumb in the crease of the right hip and persuade it back towards the end of the mat. You'll feel a little more space open up in the front of the hip. And then bend the right knee, straighten it out long on the floor, flex the foot, toes point straight up, bend the left knee into the chest. Try and root the right thigh down as you take the left heel towards the ceiling. So you might have to let your left heel go more towards the foot of the mat to get the right thigh to the floor, but that's okay. And then you can get that external rotation. Take the left thumb in the crease of your hip and persuade it towards the end of the mat.
And then bend the left knee. Take a big stretch. Stretch your legs out long. Stretch your arms overhead. And then hug your knees to your chest. Find your block. And you have choices here. Keep your knees bent at a 90-degree angle, shins parallel with the floor. You can take the block in between your thighs. If you want more work, take it in between your shins. If you want more work, if, you can take it between your feet. The farther the block gets away, the farther the weight gets away from your core, the more difficult it's going to be. Okay, so wherever you are, you can take your arms out to the sky, towards the side, palms down to give yourself more stability, and then slowly let your knees fall to the right. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, let them fall to the left. Inhale back up through center. And do that 4 more times on each side. And when you're finished, ditch the block and just rest with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Okay, we'll get one more in the back of the hips and the glute med and the piriformis. So keep your left foot on the floor with your knee bent. Draw your right knee in towards your chest and take your ankle on the left thigh just above the knee, like a figure 4 or a supine pigeon. And then lift the left foot off of the ground. Interlace your hands behind the left thigh. And as you're drawing your left knee towards your chest, press the right knee away from your chest. I even use my hand sometimes to help persuade it. Or if that feels like absolutely nothing to you, you can bend the left knee in and reach over the shin. Whichever version, whichever modification works for you today. Keep the feet flexed. And notice you may want to fall to the right, so bring attention to coming left a little bit. And then slowly lower your left foot to the ground, pause. Slide the right foot to the left so your right thigh comes tight over your left thigh. Scoot your bum to the right a little bit and let your knees fall to the left. One more twist. This time bringing attention to the right shoulder rooting down. And once again, if you need a little help there, you can press the left elbow into the floor to help it come back. But also belly button to the spine even here, so it's a twist, not a back bend. And then release, come back through center and reset second side. So right foot on the floor, left ankle up and over for figure 4 or supine pigeon. Finding your variation. As you draw the knee towards the chest, the left knee goes away from the chest. Take another couple breaths here. And then slowly lower the right foot to the ground. Pause as you take the left foot to the right, left thigh coming on top of the right thigh, tight, thigh to thigh. Take the bum to the left, let the knees fall to the right. Keeping the left shoulder rooted, and really press thigh into thigh and shin into shin, and you'll feel the pose really get that much more energetic. One more breath. And then inhale to unwind. Hug your knees to your chest. Then take your knees wide, come into happy baby. So you can reach inside your knees for the blade edge of your foot. And if your bum is flying way off of the sky, release
your feet and grab your knees or your shins. You want to keep that sacrum, that flat back we've talked about a few times today, to keep it flat on the ground. And you can rock side to side. If you want more hamstring again, you can straighten one leg or both. And then when you're ready, release the feet if you're holding them. Bring your knees to center. Take your legs out long, coming into Shavasana. So you can add layers, remove layers, add props. Rolling up the blanket and putting it under your knees, or the blocks under your knees, can be good for the low back. You can come into a heart bench. You can bend your knees and bring your feet together with your knees wide for Baddha Konasana. But if you do that, place a block under each thigh so they are supported. And then take your hands away from your body. Give yourself some space. Let your palms face up. Let your feet roll open. Let your body be heavy. Let your mind soften. Let your heart open. Feel every part of your body that's supported by the earth, and receive that support. We so often concentrate on supporting our friends, our loved ones, our families. But take this time to let yourself be supported and receive the support. So you can receive your practice and prepare to go back out into the yoga of life. Start to reawaken the body. Maybe take a deep breath in and let it out through parted lips. So deep breath in and out. Maybe do that one more time. Deep breath in and long breath out. Breathing out the old to make space for the new. Start to make small movements. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe notice the air surrounding you from the fan. Maybe notice the birds chirping. And when you're ready, slowly roll onto your right side. Be careful if you're on a heart bench. And then press yourself up to any seated, comfortable position with your hands in front of your heart, eyes closed or softened. Thank you all for being here to form this Kula, this yoga family, this connection. Our yoga is a yoga of connection. So we'll end practice with the sound of one Om. Feel free to participate or to receive. Deep breath in. Om. Softly bow your head to your heart, your head to each other's hearts. Thank you. Thanks for being here and creating this. And Anisha, I think we'll be back from a wedding in Hawaii. I'm jealous. Yeah. Thanks, Marissa. Enjoy the rest of the day.